Duke said, Duke said, how you know all this stuff, Fofo? I'm scared to deal with stocks and I'm scared to invest. I don't want to lose any money. Well, when we talking about investing you got to understand the core issue here. The core issue is fear. Okay, once you address that core issue, then you start to realize it's nothing to be afraid of. And you start to use a little bit of common sense. It's like, oh yeah, you're right, man. And it makes a lot of sense. Okay. Okay, let's address the core issue, right? Duke says, how you know all this stuff? He's scared to deal with stocks and he's scared to invest. He don't want to lose money. Okay. First you got to read. You got to read and educate yourself so that way all that fear and being scared and stuff like that it'll go away. It'll go away because you got the information. You educated yourself to move forward. I'm gonna use this example like I always do. I always use this prime example. For example, you're gonna buy a rental property, okay? You're nervous about investing in a rental property. Well, why are you nervous about investing in a rental property? Why? Well, if you think about it, the unknown, okay? The unknown, you nervous, it's like, oh my God, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want to lose no money. Okay, but if you think about what real estate is, okay, because I bump into a lot of people and I try to, inspire them to like start investing, either be real estate, stocks, what have you. And the core issue is fear. And so I kind of dumb it down. I try to use some examples. I really can't. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But in order to understand, you got to address this core issue, this fear. And what fear is the unknown. If you think about anything, for example, like I was saying with real estate, say you're looking at a rental property and you're nervous about investing in it. Okay, you look at the rental property, you're like, man, I'm scared. I don't want to put my money in, I'm scared. Well, the thing is, the reason why you're scared because of the unknown. You don't know. So when you don't know, you're scared, and it's just like, you don't have no data to bring you current to understand what you're doing. Okay? So in order to understand what you're doing, you need some data. So when we're looking at a rental property, let's say you want to buy a rental property, right? You see the property, it's $30,000. You look around in the area, the going rent for the area is $900 a month for rent. Okay? The going rate for rent in that area is $900 a month. Okay? So one can say that, okay, I can easily make, $900 a month times 12, I can easily make $10,000 a year. Okay? So now that I know that, I can move forward with, the next step. How much is insurance to insure the property? How much is the property taxes? Okay, how to screen a tenant? Well, how do you screen a tenant? Well, you do a background check. Well, how do you become comfortable with allowing a strange person live in your house that you done put money up for and they paying you rent? Well, you got to do a background check. You gotta do a background check. You do a background check. You look at their job. You look at how much money they make. You look at their credit score. Once you start looking at all this stuff, you're like, okay. And you look at this person and you're like, okay, I feel a little bit comfortable. I feel a little bit more comfortable about letting you rent out my place because you got a 700 credit score. You made $50,000 a year. You've been on your job for 10 years. I think you'll be able to pay this rent. Okay. You look at the property, you put a new roof on the property, you painted the property, you put new floors down, put new appliances down. Now the fear of investing in this property kind of goes down because you lowered your risk of something going wrong because you put a new roof, you fixed the property up so nothing doesn't go wrong. Another thing you can look at is your leases. Well, how many pages is your lease? I got 10, 11, 12 page leases. Okay. I built my lease from scratch. I built my lease from scratch. I took time out learning legal real estate law and rental law and stuff like that, state rental law. And I took my time out and I built my leases from scratch. So I have my own custom leases. So when I go out here and do business, if a tenant want to try me in court, they ain't gonna win. They're gonna lose. They ain't gonna win because my leases are built. I know what I put in my leases. I know what I got in them. And so if a tenant want to try me in court, go ahead because you're gonna lose. My leases are ironclad. I got 11, 12 page leases. I could make them longer, but I don't want to make them too long. I want enough to where to cover me in court, but at the same time, get the tenant enough comfort where it's like, okay, because I scare away a lot of tenants with my lease because they think, okay, I'm just going to take rent. I'm not going to have them sign a lease. No, I'm going to have you sign a, huh? Okay, I'm going to have you sign a lease. All right. And so I got you signing in this lease and yeah. All right. So when I'm telling y'all, I'm saying like when you, so when we talking about fear, I used to be scared to go to court with a tenant, but after you done it, hold on, let me get rid of this beeping noise. So when you start to educate yourself and trial and error, experience, and you become wise, then the fear of like doing something kind of goes away. It's like what the hell I'm scared about? What the hell I'm scared about renting my place to a tenant when I got an ironclad lease. My property is clean. I don't have to worry about that. I got insurance. I'm collecting rent. I'm doing all this stuff. I have nothing to be scared about. So when we talk about risk, losing money, it's like your chances of losing money is like slim, is very slim. And so when you apply that idea to investing, it's like, oh, okay. So basically you saying, Fofo, before I do anything, I'm gonna have to educate myself. Okay, so if you don't know anything about stocks and investing, educate yourself. Educate yourself on that and what it is like to invest. Like I always tell guys this. Because it's common sense. I always tell guys this. If you go back the last 100 years in America, if you look at the last 100 years in America, and you think about that, think about it. You really think the American world stock market, you really think the American world stock market gonna disappear? If you just use your common sense and look at the last 100 years, think about the last 100 years. Look at all the wealthy people who have invested in the stock market over the last 100 years. Have they lost money? Yeah. Have they made money? Yeah. Have they made more money than they lost? Yeah. Think about all the wealthy people in America. Think about all the wealthy people in America. What do? They invest in the stock market. They don't invest in anything else. They invest in the stock market. Warren Buffett has been investing in the stock market since the 1940s. Since he graduated college in the 1940s. So if you think about that common sense right there, if you look at all the wealthy people in America and you look at how they got wealthy, and if you look at how they got wealthy, all of them created a business, invested in the stock market, invested in real estate. It's them three things right there. It's them three things right there. They started a business, invested in real estate, and invested in the stock market. They did them three things right there. They didn't do nothing else. If you go back and look at 100 wealthy people in America, and you look at what they did, it's like, okay, this guy started a business. This guy invested in real estate. This guy invested in mutual funds and stocks. That's it. So if you know that, and you see all these other guys are doing it, you think you can do it? I mean, like, that to me is common sense. Because when you start to think about it, and you read a couple books. If you're scared of investing, read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a great book. Think and Grow Rich. That's another good book I think you should read if you're scared of investing. The Millionaire Next Door. The Millionaire from Babylon. I'm trying to think of some audio books. Because we in trucking, man, it don't make no sense for you to be riding down the road listening to all the garbage on the radio. Ain't nothing on there for you is gonna help you. You can buy Dave Ramsey's book. Okay, Dave Ramsey, he got a bunch of books, but Dave Ramsey's got the money maker, the money makeover. Okay, Dave Ramsey's got a book. If you look at all these people in history, just go back, all these people in history, all of them, they did one of them three things, or maybe some of them did all of them. If all them wealthy people did one or two or three of all those three things, and they became wealthy, you can conclude and say, well, if they do if they did that stuff, and if I do that stuff, that means I would be wealthy. So once I use my common sense and think about it, it's like, oh, it ain't nothing to be scared about, because all the wealthy people in the world, all they do is invest in the stock market, buy real estate, start a business. That's it. That's how you get wealthy in America. Start a business, invest in real estate, invest in the stock market. That's it. That's it. So when you think about being nervous, F being nervous, F being scared, because once you start getting the information and understanding the game and how the stock market works, how business works, how real estate works, it's like risk. What? Ain't no risk. There ain't nothing to be scared about, because you know the information. You got the playbook to the game. It's like you got a team of football players. You got a team of football players, a team of basketball players. You going up against another team, and you don't know if you're gonna win or not. You feel confident that you're gonna win because you got the goddamn playbook right here. Okay, you got the real estate playbook. You got the stock market playbook. You got the business playbook. Okay, if you start a business and if you do these, like for example, each one of these playbooks got a game to it. So if you got, okay, the business, okay, if you want to start a business, right, and you're nervous about starting a business, there's certain basic things you can do to increase your success of being successful in a business. Okay, there's just certain basic things. And if you follow them basic concepts and them strategies, you will have no problem making it 10, 20 years in your business. Same thing with stocks. Okay, you buy some mutual funds, index funds, some stocks. And it's like, okay, you look at the stocks and you like, okay, you look at it. It's like, man, I'm nervous. I don't want to put my money in there. Okay, cool. You scared? Okay, fine. Fine, you scared. But if you see everybody else out there investing in the stock market and they're making money, what are you doing? So you trying to tell me, since you not investing in the stock market, you better off? Because you gotta understand, if you don't invest your money gonna disappear from you. It's gonna disappear. Because with inflation, at the rate of inflation, your money is degrading 3, 4, 5% a year. If you just got $100 sitting in the checking account, it ain't $100 no more. If you put your money in the checking account on January 1st, 2020, if you put $100 in the checking account on January 2020, next year, 2021, it's going to be worth $90. So if you think about that, you'll be a fool not to invest, because if you let it sit there, your money is depreciating as we speak. We're just sitting there. We're working for dead money. The best thing you can do is invest your money, because at least you keeping up with inflation. At least you keeping up. Your dollar is keeping up his buying power. Okay. You want to turn 100 into 200, turn 200 into 800. So that's my rant for those for guys who are scared to lose money. You got to read, man. You got to read so you become comfortable with it. Information. You got to read, man. That's all it is. You got to read. We spend so much time reading the wrong junk. We spend so much time doing the wrong stuff. We're not reading what the 1% are reading. We're not learning what they know. These guys ain't working. Them guys don't work. Warren Buffett don't work. And if you call sending a couple emails a job, that ain't no work. That ain't labor to me. Okay? That ain't nothing. If you call sitting behind a computer day trading some stocks, that ain't no job, man. That's that ain't nothing. That's nothing, man. Sitting behind a computer, that ain't no work, man. This tell the guy that's out there delivering packages, running the truck, that, man, I work 60 hours this week sitting behind a computer. That ain't no work. I do that. I would do that. I would do that. But see, the thing is, it's like the thing is, now it's fine because it's designed this way. It's designed this way. We don't know what the top 1, 2, 3, 4% out there know about money. And so we scared of it. And it's designed that way. Okay, it's designed for us not to know. They don't want us to know what they know because they want us to go work for the money. Okay. And they sit up there, you know, making billions in 5 minutes. They just sit up there and make billions in 5 minutes. They ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so we out here slaving and killing ourselves. And, you know, for some, and it's crazy because we're to the point where we feel so comfortable getting a job. Something is wrong with that. We feel so comfortable getting a goddamn job, but we don't know how to invest our money and let the money do the work. We don't know how to do that. We know how to go out here and slave and get a job. We comfortable getting a job. Content with getting a job. The job is the worst thing the regime has ever made for man on this planet. A damn job. Because it just keeps you working in that rat race. It just keeps you working for money. That's all it does. It just keeps you chasing money. That's all it does. And they know that. They sitting up there, the top 1-2% just sitting up there laughing. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. You got the top 1%. They sit up there. They'll make your salary in 2-3 days. While you trying to work a whole year trying to make their salary. You know what I'm saying? And so when we talk about being scared and fear, like to me, damn the fear, because these guys are making it. These guys are making 100K in a week. Ain't bad an eye. They just log on the computer and play around with some numbers and boom, make 100,000. All they did is move some money around. Okay, I move my money here to here. 100,000, done. It's like, you want to learn how to do that. And how do you learn how to do that? You have to educate yourself. Just like the first time you climbed in your truck. Weren't you scared when you first climbed in your truck? But you did it, you learned it. But we don't want to learn. We don't want to learn how to invest and be comfortable with that. We want to make excuses about investing. Don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. So Duke, that's what I got to say to you, man. I hope you got all that. I hope you got it. I hope you're still in this video watching it. Because I know a lot of this stuff, it could be boring because I don't do drama on my videos. I do a little bit of drama, but most of my videos, they're educating type videos. I'll be trying to motivate guys, you know, because we've been in these trucks for 20, 30 years. I'm, you know, it's pissing me off to see guys, you know, 20, 30 years in this business and not have nothing after because they scared. They scared. Talking about they scared to lose money and all that. Any transportation companies on the radar? It's a few transportation companies. As far as a buy and hold, I would mess with the railroad companies. I would mess with the railroad companies. I would mess with Norfolk Southern, you know, BNSF. I would mess with them. Trucking companies, it's a few trucking companies I would buy single stocks in. It's not too many. You know, trucking is a cash heavy business, and trucking eats up a lot of capital. You need a lot of capital to make money in trucking, and just like real estate, real estate is a cash heavy business. You need a lot of cash just to make a little bit of money. It's a few trucking companies. It's a few big ones. I could go with the big ones, the UPSs, the FedExes, JB Hunt, maybe Warner or something like that. I wouldn't mess with any of the smaller ones. I would buy some Snyder stock or something like that. I wouldn't mess with none of the small ones. Because just trucking is a tough business, man. It's a real tough business. Galaxy Transport say, I don't even need it. I want business credit. Yeah, man. Right. One step at a time. Lamar says most don't realize that every truck is on or op on the road, even as company driver. You still paying for the truck repairs if you think about it. Right. And so I told myself when it's time for me to get out this truck and trailer is my severance package. Okay. When it's time for me to get out this truck, I sell my truck and trailer to some young guy and I'll be like, hey man, give me 25,000. I walk away with 25,000. He take the truck and trailer, and that'll be my severance package, my retirement bonus. I take that 25,000 and put that into the stock market. Okay. And see, most guys, when they work for a company, they just get a salary. They just get that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, and they're not investing it. They just spending it. They just spending it on bills, just spending it. And when they leave that company, they don't have no asset. They don't own nothing. They don't take nothing with them. Okay. And so you want to take something with you when you leave these companies, man. You want to take something with you. You want to take something with you. But I don't know, man. But it's not our fault. It's not our fault. The regime has taught us to be this way. And we got to learn how to get out of it. It's hard, I know, but you got to wake up. You got to wake up and learn what the wealthy people do, man. That's all. Investing in the real estate and stocks and stuff like that is not complicated. We like to make it See, the thing is, they made it complicated on purpose to keep people out of it. They don't want everyday people messing with it. But you start digging into these stocks, it ain't no different than looking at your monthly budget at your house. You looking at these companies' financials and stuff like that. It's the same thing as looking at your monthly budget for your house. You made $5,000 a month. Your bills is $3,000 a month. Whatever you got left over is profit. Same thing, just like running a business. So you start looking at the financials of a company when they got $5 billion coming in, and then they got $3 billion in expenses. They got $2 billion left over. Easy. Done. And so, you can tell a healthy company from a not healthy company just by looking at their balance sheet. And like I be telling y'all, learn how to do your own taxes. Keep a spreadsheet on your truck. I don't got to keep a spreadsheet. Okay, stay dumb then. Because if you don't learn how to look at income statements, balance sheets, if you don't learn that stuff, you can't learn this. You can't learn this. How the wealthy people, you don't learn this. You just stay dumb. You just stay dumb. You don't learn this game, the stocks, okay? Real estate, you don't learn this stuff. So I be getting these arguments with people. Like, it's like, okay, dude, stay dumb then. Damn. Then you come calling me talking about, I want want to invest in the stock market. Well, you can't do that just yet because you got to learn the basics first. Okay, if you own a truck and trailer, get your expenses and put it on a spreadsheet so you can learn how to read financials. Okay, so you learn that, and once you learn how to look at your truck, then you can learn how to look at other businesses and evaluate a healthy, unhealthy business. You know, but you know the average person don't keep a budget, right? The regime has taught y'all to be dumb, financially dumb. The regime is walking, the regime is running tracks around y'all, man. Keeping y'all stupid. Y'all spending more than you make out here, and you're in a whole bunch of debt, and you just the regime just laughing at y'all. You go down to the dealership, you make $40,000 a year, and you're gonna buy a car for $40,000. That don't make sense. You buy the car for $40,000. 3 years later, the car ain't worth 5 or 10. That's a dumb investment. How do you know that? Because you've been keeping a budget, and you've been running your truck, and you know financials. You start to see that all this you can tell a dumb investment from a good investment. Just common sense. I mean, to me, it's common sense. So so when you start looking at a stock or a mutual fund or what have you, or you're looking at a piece of real estate, you can evaluate, you can make an analytical, you can make a good educated guess. The risk is little to none. It's little to no risk. You don't have to worry about being scared about it because you know what you're looking at. You're like, oh, this is a good deal right here. This is a damn good deal right here. You just look at, that's all it is, man. Right. Somebody gave me 99 cents. Y'all a trip. A great way to get comfortable with investing is to buy Bourne's Dictionary on Financial Terms. Also study the guys in the Series 7, Certified Financial Analyst and Certified. Yeah, you can do that, but you don't have to do all that. I mean, you can do that, but you don't have to do that, man. I started off watching Fox News back in when I first got into trucking in 2008. In 2007, I started watching Fox Business News. I started watching Fox Business. You know, I get in the truck and put on Fox Business, man. We riding down the road with Fox Business playing, and all because on Fox Business, all they got is just talking financial, business, stock market stuff, and what's going on all day long, just talking. And after a while, that stuff start making a little bit of sense to you. After a while, you're like, damn, it start making a little bit of sense to you. And then you add another little step, a little layer to it, another little layer to it. Then you add another little layer to it. Then you start keeping a spreadsheet. You start keeping a budget at the house, okay? And then you get your own truck. Then you start keeping a spreadsheet on your truck. Then you start thinking like, oh, this stuff's starting to make a little bit of sense. Oh. And then when you start looking at some stocks, and it's just like, okay, you look at a company, you look at Walmart, their financials, you look at their balance sheet. Okay, first quarter earnings for Walmart was X, Y, and Z. Their operating income, operating revenues, He's like, okay, yeah, I'm invested in this. I like this. These numbers look good. But it takes time, man. It takes time. And so when you start thinking about fear, it ain't really no fear. You just, it's a little bit of fear. It's always a little bit of fear. There's always a little bit of fear when you're doing something and you putting your own money up. But shit, how long Walmart been in business? How long Walmart been in business? How long Walmart been in business? What, 40 some years? So, I mean, come on, man. Like, there's really nothing to be scared about. But, and on top of that, if you are so scared, okay, if you spread money out, if you spread a bunch of money across a whole bunch of different investments, then you don't really have much to be scared about, because if you got 100,000 and you got 10,000 invested across a whole bunch of different areas, then if one company go bad, you just lost 10,000 over here. But this company over here is doing so good where it's making up for your losses over here. It's better than doing nothing, because if you do nothing, sitting there, you ain't gonna build no wealth. You just sitting there, sitting still. So, you know. But I'm glad y'all asking these questions. I'm glad y'all in here. Because I do this to help my truck drivers, to inspire them, because I don't want to see guys, 20, 30 years and not have nothing. I need y'all to have $1 million. I need y'all to have about $1 million in a portfolio somewhere with some investments. I need you to have $1 million in investments somewhere. So, I hate to see one of y'all, standing up there at Walmart, as a cashier or at the front door as a greeter, looking at people's receipts at 60, 65 years old, because you can't get a job nowhere else. Always hearing these old stories of old truck drivers talking about, oh, well, I used to drive a truck back in the 70s. I used to drive a truck. I had 5 trucks back in the 70s. Oh, okay, what you doing now? I don't care what you did. I don't care, but you ain't invest none of it. It make no sense. I don't care how many trucks you had. You had all them trucks. You ain't do nothing with the money. What's the point of making the money if you're not going to invest it? Making no sense. But anyway, I'm going to get off here. We got an hour and 45 minutes, and, me yelling and ranting and raving. But I appreciate y'all watching videos, man. I'll see y'all next time.